Welcome to episode 1 of my YouTube series on I'm pregnant and I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. So this is almost like a documentation of the choices I'm going to make, my training in particular, what I'm eating, a fit person's journey through it all. Because for me, I don't know hardly anyone who's involved in health and fitness like I am that's been through this. I can think of a small handful. This is info from the trying process to the finding out process through to now where I'm 14 weeks out. Let's rewind back to where it all started. My partner and I decided that after my last competition, which was scheduled for October 2019, but COVID came and kind of put a halt to that, that we would start trying. And so that's where it all began. And at that point, I literally thought it was easy as, all right, let's do this. Holy shit, no. I'm mind blown actually how complicated it is and how easy it is to not fall pregnant. Why didn't they teach this to us in school? There is a small little window of opportunity you actually have to potentially get pregnant. Fucking tiny. My partner, he's in the army, and at that time, this started November 2019, we weren't even living together. He was situated in Oakey and I was in Brisbane, and he would come home on weekends sometimes. So you can imagine you've got this tiny little window of opportunity, and him and his work schedule, those meeting together was challenging. I think over maybe a 4 to 5 month period, there was 1 or 2 times where we even got the opportunity. Then he was deployed for, I think, 9 weeks, and that took away another 1 to 2, I can't remember, 1 to 2 opportunities. There were situations I'll never forget. I was like, okay, I'm ovulating. Had my little ovulation stick, I'm excited. And then that night, one of our dogs, disaster, had to take him to emergency vet, death, like on his deathbed, needs an IV drip overnight. Do you really think a male, when their dog is gonna potentially die, their best friend, their body functions are not gonna participate in a baby making process? So there was another opportunity gone, just like that. So holy hell, it's not just, some people are gonna watch this and go, well, duh, it's not that easy. I didn't know that, honestly. Anyway, after 8 months of trying, it happened. I'm 36, I'm nearly 37 years old. At about 6 months of trying, I went to the doctor, and not because of panic, just because, look, I know I'm a bit older, I wanna suss out where my health's at. If there's any issues, I wanna tackle them now. Apparently this is a typical female thing, according to the doctor. And she says to me, look, you're only 6 months trying. I wouldn't usually take you through these tests. Please. Okay, we'll go through the tests. We do all the tests. 3 to 4 weeks later, pregnancy test. Ta-da! I cannot tell you, I was shaking while waiting for these little stripes to pop up. And I see them and I'm like, am I reading this right? Text my friend, picture, is this right? What, oh my, like, could this actually be true? Coincidentally, doctor calls me, you need to come in to discuss your results. We go in. Now, Tammy, we got your egg count and it's very low. So we might need to go through procedures. And I'm like, well, guess what? I'm pregnant. What? Oh my gosh. I really wanted to put that point out there because, yeah, I'm 36. My egg count will be lower. That sucks. Thank goodness I didn't know that earlier, because that would have messed with my head. Still, it happened. Honestly, I cannot tell you how grateful I am to this body for making it happen. So anyway, boom, pregnant, find out 5 weeks in. waiting for morning sickness to come in, waiting every morning. Is it happening? Am I going to be throwing up? Nothing. I'm now 14 weeks, no morning sickness, virtually no fatigue. If I didn't skip my period and if my like look at them, they're massive. Aren't they amazing? They're great. If my boobs didn't grow and were sore, I wouldn't even know. I still trained. I did feel weak in training and short of breath. I was doing tempo squats and I'm like I was short of breath. And if I didn't know I was pregnant, I'd think, what the fuck's wrong with me? But other than that, I was still doing CrossFit. I was still training as per normal. I barely even had food aversions. I did go through a phase where fruit and my vitamin C effervescent or anything sweet, I was like, get it away from me. It was weird. But other than that, fine. It's like fucking invisible pregnancy. I shouldn't be swearing. Invisible pregnancy other than my boobs and missed period. My body has been through some amazing stuff to have endured the bodybuilding competitions I've done, to build the muscle that I have, to put it through that stress, to get the results that I did, to take it through CrossFit for 5 years. There's points I was training for 3 hours a day. Quite fucking crazy psycho training. And I'm so grateful for what my body is capable of. And now I have this completely new perspective. I am so grateful to this body for taking me through an entire first trimester, 13 weeks, no symptoms, no nasty symptoms. I'm mind blown. Yes, it did begin to mess with my head. We had a 13-week scan a week ago. 3 to 4 weeks leading up, I'm like, is there even anything in there? Because there's nothing else going on. Like, this is too good to be true. People don't talk about this because it's boring. What story have I got to say? Oh, I had no symptoms. I had no morning sickness. Shut up, bitch. It's boring and no one wants to hear it. So we get this scan done and there it is, this little thing. It's got a little head, a little skull, had a little nose. Little knuckles, a little beating heart, and there it was. And you know what? I'm that person, if you show me an ultrasound or something from someone else, I'm like, wow. And in my head, I'm like, there's just zero connection. You could be my best friend, you could be my sister, and I will appreciate it, but I just don't get it. And when I saw it for myself, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, I got it. I was just overwhelmed that a human body, my human body, was capable of creating a little human with the skeleton and organs. Like, there's a human being how did this make a beating heart? Like, it mind-blowing. I mean, look, this has been happening since fucking day one of the earth. It's not new news, I know that, but when it's yourself, it's different. And it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. All right, let's talk about training. All right, this is the stuff that you want to know. I've just been training as per normal. I've been doing handstands, handstand walks, squatting, running, skipping, box jumps, all of it. And I know that I'm lucky because most people can't because of the morning sickness. So I have just been truly lucky. I guess one side effect I didn't mention was I got really dumb. I'd be training and like, let's say I'm doing a box jump, burpee box jump. You face the box, you do a burpee, you jump on the box, you jump off the box on the other side, you turn around. I remember looking at the box, did a burpee, jumped up, and I'm like, what am I doing? Total blank. I've done these a million times. Total blank. And that happened repeatedly over like 6 or 7 weeks. And I'm like, I'm just dumb. So I have trained as per normal. And here in my head, I'm like, why do people cut out pull-ups? I don't get it. Like, why? And then I researched it. And that extension of the body and the pulling That's what tears people's abs open. It's not like the core work itself. It's not like, I can do core work and it wouldn't rip my abs open. But if I'm hanging or in this extension position, it'll tear them apart. I get it. Oh my gosh. All these pregnant people aren't just a bunch of sooks. It's a real thing. One more thing I did want to get into. I have chosen to go through midwives. Now, I was sneakily coerced into trying to pick an obstetrician, despite I don't have healthcare. Why don't you have healthcare, Tammy? I'm lazy. There's literally no other excuse. I just was too lazy to do it. So here we are. She coerces me. You want to get obstetrician, whatever. I don't have private health. Yep, that's okay. How much does it cost? What's the ballpark number? I don't know. Call the obstetrician. You're looking at a starting of $15,000. How does a doctor not know that if you don't have private health, an obstetrician is going to cost you in the bloody thousands? It's not a couple of hundred or a couple of thousand, 15,000, potentially 30,000. Anyway, so I've chosen to go on through the midwives, and now that I know more about them, it's totally where I want to be. It's what I'm aligned with, my beliefs. I don't want a C-section. I don't want interferences. The human body has been doing this forever. I want to let it do its thing. Anyway, so I've had a lot of people over the years, some of my closest friends, I shouldn't say a lot, a handful of my closest friends or relatives, hey Tammy, do you know what hypnobirthing is? And it's not all like, ooh, you're hypnotized. It's not stuff like that. It's literally allowing your body to go through the motions of giving birth the way it's intended, without interference, without drugs, without forcing it out by pushing so you tear yourself open, screaming the house down. To me, that just makes sense. And after I've been looking into this hypnobirthing more, reading the audiobook, talking to other people who've gone through it, it's literally science. So that's the process that I'm going to take. And I'm going to keep you all updated on that sort of stuff. Still learning about it, but it aligns with my beliefs. Natural, instinctive, let the body do what it wants. So anyway, you know what? I would love to hear from anyone about their experiences giving birth, especially if you've gone through the calm birthing or hypnobirthing techniques. I would love to hear more. I'd literally love to hear from anyone in their experiences through pregnancy and childbirth, because I honestly have no idea. I've not had an interest in it before. Pregnant people don't, it's like they're another species and I just have no idea. And now here I am. So yeah, hit me with comments, questions. I want to get fully immersed in this. And if you want to see how I'm going progress-wise, this is it here. I can hide it. Look at me. Not pregnant. But the bloating gets pretty intense where it's, you can't hide it. And I'm at an awkward point now where it's like, is she bloated, fat, or you look round? You can see here, just a little roundness. So anyway, I hope this is interesting on some level. It's definitely not education. I'm not educating anyone on this. I'm not suggesting anything to anyone. This is purely my experience. And the only thing I just want to put out there is, especially to people who exercise a lot, that there's no need to stop. Don't be afraid. As a coach, I've had a lot of girls come in completely just all weird and wonderful requests, and I always respect what the doctor says. Doctors always know better. I don't know better. I do what they say. But this is my journey, and maybe it will take some fear out for other people. So anyway, hope you keep watching, and well, thank you for watching.